Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to another RWA Productions. And tonight we are joined by myself and Paul Wilson for now, until a few other guests come in around 7:15. So we've got Anthony Mackham joining, and we've got Coventry guest Myles Cadden from Sky Blues TV. So literally, I managed to get Anthony about 10 to 7 because quite a few people's dropped out tonight. Jack Lincoln's dropped out, so Anthony Mackham's going to be his replacement. So, we finished Coventry 2, Sunderland 1, down at Coventry Building Society Arena. And Paul, could you just tell us a bit of the gist of the game, on the game? What happened?
I'm getting an echo from somewhere.
Oh, I've got my headphones in. Don't know where it's from.
It probably just me. That's probably you, and everything. But I'll see if it's me. And I'll refresh, Brad, and I'll come back.
Hello, boys. Oh, I'm on mute. Hello, boys. Hello.
Evening. Thank you for coming on, Amp. I appreciate it. You all right?
No worries, mate. No worries. I'm all good, mate. Happy Monday.
Good. Happy Monday to you.
Well, did you watch the game yesterday? I'm not talking about the Sunderland game on Saturday, by the way. Did you watch the other one?
Yeah, of course I did. We're
going to be talking about that a little bit today.
Well, why? It is a Sunderland podcast, so why not? We'll talk about that as well, to be honest with you.
Are you getting an echo? Because I'm getting an echo.
No. You'll be getting an echo because you've got the YouTube open at the same time, so mute your YouTube tab. You're welcome.
Oh yeah, we'll be actually at YouTube running.
Oh, Paul! Right, so we've got a comment coming in from Glenn Rock, and he says, "Evening, guys. Honestly thought Wolverine costume the game with his team selection and subs. Ref wasn't great, but Sunderland didn't do enough for the possession they had."
I mean, there's a lot of blame I'm giving to the referee on that game. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. The referee cost us a lot of obvious decisions. The first goal was the worst of it all. The two fouls leading up to it. Yeah, get up. What was he watching? What was that? That referee was just. I'm pretty sure he was on ketamine or something like that because it was just awful.
I know exactly what you're on about at that point. Because I actually watched the game with you once, and I know exactly what you're on about.
Welcome along, Glenn. By the way, Sky Blue. To be fair, the players from the Coventry perspective played to the whistle, but that huge gap that when two people are on the floor, that gap created allowed them to break through that middle right, and yeah. There's not much our defence could do against it either. So I can't blame the Coventry players for playing on the whistle, but the whistle should have definitely been blown.
Yeah.
And that set the game off onto a really bad footing for me.
I disagree. The main thing was the referee. Yeah, exactly. Dean Whitestone, whatever you were doing at the weekend. I think we don't
get him again.
I think he's actually a Premier League referee as well, isn't he, Paul?
Not him. Not those type of decisions. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a Premier League referee.
He definitely looked like the type of referee that needed assistance from a VAR because his decision, like he's got to have known how many mistakes he made in that game.
Mm-hmm.
It just really wound me up. But do you know what? We'll move on. We've got to move on against Stoke next week. Alex Neil's return at the Stadium of Light, and I think this week break might be a heaven send really, because our team for the last
How can I get that comment?
last three games have been sluggish, shall we say? Dan Ballard and
Dougie Bart.
Danny Bart, yeah, both of them just absolutely run ragged. You've got like, sorry, I'm just trying to I can't.
No, don't apologise. I am actually totally fine.
Cool.
How can I get that one, Glennis pub? How can I get it?
It was Fraser Mitchell went us on his backside on halfway line, then miraculously recovered when the goal went in. Missed the physicality 09 gave us.
To be honest with you, Glenn, I'm going to say this actually, but your goalkeeper was dead lucky to actually stay on that pitch, mind.
He was with a foul on Geldhart.
He actually grabbed his throat.
He grabbed his throat.
I forgot about that. Shows you how shit our weekend was, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't realise I could use the chat on StreamYard. That's clever.
Yeah, you can use the
You
chat.
can.
You know what I mean? I can see the comments coming in on YouTube on the StreamYard. I didn't know I could do that.
Yes, he was a Premier League referee, says Rosie. Gives you I went, says Glenn Watkin. And Abad's comeback goal was class. Exactly, Abad's goal was really good.
I'll chip in there if you want. I think
chip in.
His 92 minutes before that goal, absolutely forgettable. I've never seen somebody be so out of the game mentally in all my life. But then, obviously, the right moment breaks for him. He just goes, we're losing. Fuck it. Let's have a shot. Boom. Top left corner. Like, where was that for the over 90 minutes before then? So, sublime goal, but too little, too late. And I think that's a common thread for Sunderland this half of the season. Leaving it to second half a lot of the time. I'd like us to just come out the gates firing all cylinders and getting an early goal. Being 1-0, 2-0 up at half time, that would be novel, right?
Yeah. Question from Robert Euston. He says, question is, will Alex Neil get halted by his pass, but anybody will get booed when he comes off the coach?
He'll get more than booed. I guarantee it.
No, you get more than booed indeed, Paul.
I think he'll arrive early. He'll probably arrive like the day before or something, because there's a hotel, there's rooms that people can stay in the Stadium of Light, isn't there? So,
do you actually think you'll stay in that hotel?
Not the hotel across the road. There's actual rooms in the Stadium of Light.
He'll stay at the Stadium, Brad.
I didn't know that.
The security won't let him in the hotel, especially if our fans stay in the hotel.
Rosie says, we're missing Ross Stewart. That's a good question indeed. To be honest, massively.
Yeah,
that's the answer straight away. Massively. We're missing Ross Stewart, missing Corey Evans in the middle as well. We're missing a lot of players, to be fair.
So don't get me wrong, Corey Evans, getting him signed up for a contract extension is really good work. But
it is.
We in the midfield, I think we've stacked ourselves a lot especially in this in the summer transfer window, and a little bit more in the January window. That we don't really see him missing as much as we see Stewart missing, because Stewart is that big focal point. There's like Gelhardt, as much as he's trying his little legs off, he's not 6'2". He can't be the focal point for crosses into the box, for the penalty, for the corners, for the open play goals. It's just he's a false nine. He's not an out and out number 10.
UK train bus and vids, that is Robert. He says, who's glad Newcastle got beat 2-0? I was absolutely ecstatic. Corey Akner, Andy Wyman and Alan Horsell they played Tyrone and Kirk respectively.
Don't know about Corey, because I've not watched a soap since I was forced to as a kid. But I saw lots of photos of random Geordies just come out of the woodwork. Was that there was the politician who all of a sudden is wearing, Matt Hancock is wearing a Newcastle shirt. Going,
I've seen his TikTok.
Oh my god!
I've seen his video.
It's been years and years, and we've deserved it. Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
If there's ever a
I
reason...
just knew he was a Geordie. It's typical of a politician.
Yeah.
Glenn Watkins says it was typical Mowbray post-Christmas conference on his side. Lots of good ball, but didn't test keeper and got bullied. Cov could have had 2 or 3 first half. Your front 4 is as good as anything league.
In the league,
What
yeah.
that means.
Yeah, I think you said the word in the league.
Michoud looked lightweight. Really like Ballard and Neil. Presume had a really good game for you. Yeah, Neil was good and Ballard was quite good as well, to be honest. I actually quite like Hume, to be fair. I think Hume's played quite well this season. Many people will agree as well.
I was pleased Mowbray actually brought him back in, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, the changes what he made on Saturday, Hume, Alessi and Roberts, them were the players what played against QPR, didn't they, in Bristol City, before getting rotated.
Yeah. So on that point, mate, I think we've got a little bit of the physicality of our team has changed massively over the last 2 seasons. We've gone away from this big, stocky, bulky team that's hard to bully to a bunch of kids who are still building up their muscle mass and building their strength in the league. Michoud, Ahmad, Elise, you can see them starting to build tone and build strength into it, but they're still a mile off where the rest of the championship are physically. They've got the skill. It's just keeping that skill and physicality balance. So I'd much rather have 11 Pritchards than 11 Ahmads. I know Ahmad's scoring left, right, and centre, but Pritchard for me is a lot more physical and can handle the aggressive slide tackles and pushes on the side of the ball. But Michoud, case in point, was just falling off the ball.
Totally agree with you there, Ram. Totally agree with you. Also, as well, I think, what do you call him, school when he came off the bench? Perry Ekwar, I thought he had a brilliant game when he came off the bench for the last 15,
he needs
20
to
minutes.
start a game.
He does. He definitely needs to start. Will
it be this weekend?
We'll find out. Jack Lincoln says he feels so bad that he couldn't make it on tonight. That's totally fine, Jack. I totally understand, mate. You're busy doing stuff. I totally understand. Don't worry about it. That's why Anthony Mackham's called in for you. Question for Paul. Do you think the Red and White will win on Saturday? But which one am I on about? They're both playing Red and White. Well, Stoke will be playing in their away black kit on Saturday.
Yeah, because you imagine 20 players just in red and white kit. So with carnage, you got to pick them out by the shorts, haven't you? Do they play in red shorts?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. I'm pleased this game's not on TV because you imagine the commentators if you have to all play red and white. The commentators will be like, so that play was for Tony Mowbray, that one was for Alex Neil.
That one was running in that direction, and that one was in the other way. They'll have to wear caps like this next.
Robert says he expects Stoke City to wear their fur kit on Saturday as both home and away kit clash. The fur black kit will be the only option, the black one, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, their away kits, their entire kits this season are beautiful. It's just a shame they're not performing in it.
Ekwar and Lahaji was fantastic when they came on for Sunderland. Did Lahaji came on, Paul? I didn't think Lahaji came on. Did he on Saturday? He was on the bench with him.
Didn't he come in the 83rd minute, something like that? He was our last substitution.
No, it was
came on for us. He was on the bench.
It was Barr who came on.
9 came on.
Bennett came on. Pritchard came on.
So did 9.
9 came on as well, yeah.
I'm just pulling up the game stats now. I hate seeing L's next to someone, man. It's so bad. So it was Pritchard on for Clark, Ekwar on for Gelhardt, and Barr on for Michoud. That was all the 70th minute. 74th minute, 09 on for Neil, and then the 81st Bennett on for Alessi. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a post from, I think it was the Echo today, that we do actually get Mowbray is expected to see more from Lahaji. I don't know if it'll be probably when Ahmad goes back to Man United, because
Yeah.
Lahaji is basic Ahmad's replacement.
Glenn Watkins says, don't you have any other strikers in the academy on the under-21 side? Think Goldhart will be better with a striker alongside him.
The only one I'm
Mate,
thinking
we-
of is
With Max Thompson.
Max
That's
Thompson,
who
but Tony Mowbray won't give him a chance.
And there's Riggy as well, and obviously he's away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chris
Chris
that's
Riggs,
true.
15-year-old, mate. Like,
But he's 15-year-old as well. That's
are
the
we
problem.
relying on a 15-year-old kid to be our dedicated striker in this league? That's terrifying.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, well, I think when he comes back, I think he'll be on the bench.
Apparently,
Because
Gardner's an
Mowbray's
option.
said that. Oh, I forgot about Gardner. I think he played the other day for the under-21s.
Mm-hmm. We've got
Just
three.
just adding somebody in. There we go.
Yeah,
Liam's on as well. Hey Liam, you alright?
Hi, how are yous?
Alright yourself?
Me up.
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Oh, good lad, good lad. What were you saying there, Rav, before? I interrupted you. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying it's quite surprising. Apparently, we've got three strikers at under 21 level. But if you look at our first team on our website, we've actually got 5 strikers.
Mhm.
5.
Yeah, they're not strikers. So Stewart's on there, Ahmad's there, Bennett, Lahaji, and Gelhart. So out of them that are dedicated strikers, I would say Stewart and Gelhart. Like the fact that the other 3 are there, they're more like attacking midfielders than strikers, but they put them as
Bennett could be a striker as well, though, couldn't he? Really?
Who? Bennett.
Bennett, yeah, he could be a
can
striker.
play as a striker because at Costa Rica, he does actually play as a striker.
Yeah, he plays as a striker role, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Didn't
he
he
does.
He scored the first game after we bought him, right, against like South Korea.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So he's an
Um,
international striker that's on form.
Yes, indeed. He's in form. Liam Keatley, we'll move across to you now, where you've just came on. Coventry 2, Sunderland 1 down at Coventry Building Society Arena. What was your take on the game, mate?
I thought it was, well, the ref wasn't given much for it at all. I thought the ref was mainly a Coventry fan, to be honest. But the fact they were just fouling and they were getting away with it, we were doing the same and we weren't getting away with it is a bit daft. But for me, if I had a proper striker like a Ross Stewart or something, I think we would have won that.
We could have indeed if we had a Ross Stewart up there, or obviously if Pritchard started as well. No disrespect to anyone on that bench, but if Pritchard would have started, he's got good physicality, what Amfor's saying as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Who's Myles Cadden, by the way?
Myles Cadden, he's from Coventry. On the Sky Blues fans TV, he'll be on around 7:30ish.
Oh, cool, awesome. Just
Yes,
saw his
so he'll
name
be
tick
given.
underneath me, and I was like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, he'll be giving his verdict on the game when he comes on. So we'll go on.
I was just going to say, so do you think our recruitment strategy over January windows fell through the floor a bit? I don't think we were expecting Stuart to get injured, but the fact that he got injured about a week before the end of the window, the fact that when that happened, we didn't actually just throw money at it, is that a concerning thing, or is that an actual like relief?
Well, for me to be honest, I thought we should have brought at least another striker in, but to cover for Gelhart, because obviously Gelhart has to play a lot of games to cover the Stewart role, and obviously if Stewart, if Gelhart gets injured, we'll have no one to rely on, really. Obviously, we've got Uli Bennett to rely on, or Lahaji, or God knows who.
Yeah, but the fact that we didn't throw money at it for me is a little bit like relieving because we threw money at strikers before and they've not worked at all, and they've just been a big cash cow to sit on the bench. So, like, it's an interesting one. Long term, I think it's going to benefit us that we didn't get somebody in this window. Because we get potential the right person in summer because we're not having to pay for this cash cow.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the recruitment, Liam? What's your thoughts?
I thought we'd done good business in bringing Ekwa, Lahaji, and Anderson. I think it was we brought in. But the fact, as Ant just said, that we're on, we've only lost Stewart. I feel like we needed that striker, and the fact that we also let Ellis Sims leave, and it's a bit disappointing in the striker end, really.
Good comment on Ellis Sims, to be fair, as well, because Glenn Watkins just said in the chat, he says, was Mowbray guilty of hoping that Sims would come back on loan from Everton?
Do you not think Speakman's probably tried to tell Mowbray that, because Speakman actually was the one that was on the phone call a lot, apparently, with Everton, to try and bring back Sims?
Possibly could have been,
I think Mowbray's a bit frustrated with Christian Speakman. Because I can tell probably in his latest, well, not his latest interview, but what he said on the club website, I think he's a bit frustrated because when the window opened, Tony Mowbray said to the media that he's after two strikers, one on loan and one on a permanent deal.
Yeah. Got anything to... Oh, go on. Sorry, Paul. Have you got anything to add to that, or...?
I do. I don't think he's guilty of anything. I think his hands are tied. It's all Speakman's say so, and I just think the way we're currently owned, Mowbray's doing the best with what he's got in front of him. I can't blame him for hoping that player would come back, or potentially Broadhead come back as well. There was links with Coventry, a Coventry striker, and them coming back to the club. So that's two people that could have been, not just Sims. But Mowbray obviously had a bit of work with Sims, so he would have had the preference for him. But he couldn't do anything about it. It's not his negotiation to run. They use Mowbray in the player talks as this show pony. This is going to be your line manager. He's going to tell you what to do on the pitch, but anything that comes to contracts, long-term future, the plan for you within this club, that's on Speakman.
Agreed, yeah. Liam, what do you think about Ellis Sims?
I mean, when we first signed him in the summer, I was thinking, yeah, he could be has the potential to be a good striker. And then what I heard of Blackpool and Hearts fans about him kicking in when he gets further in the season, I thought he might be a little bit dodgy. But overall, I thought he was actually decent, and I wish we had kept him.
Do you think it was too early to bring him back when he was injured against Middlesbrough away? Says Rosie.
No. Sorry, Rosie, no.
No.
I think we waited 3 games longer than he should have, to be honest. Wasn't he out? He was out for 11 games.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a big gap between when he came back. But didn't he come back after the World Cup break as well? So he had that extra weeks in there as well. He didn't actually play before the World Cup broke up.
Yeah, that's when he came back.
Glenn Watkins says Gelhardt has started like 16 games of his career so far, and 6 of them for Sunderland. Wow.
Here's a question for you from that, with Gelhardt in mind. If he starts to fire goals in, say, like I keep saying about 6 or 7 goals before the end of the season, would you start to approach him for a full-time contract at that point, or would you? Well, he has to go back to his parent club, but we can say, do you want to buy it? We can buy you a residential property up here, bring your family up, and all of that. you think that's an option if he bags those 6-7 goals? Would you take him as a full-time striker at Sunderland?
To be honest, I would. To be honest with you, Paul, what do you think?
To be honest, I'm not sure because Leeds' new manager, he'll actually want to see
How he
what
is doing?
Gelhardt is like, because actually their new manager, he used to manage Aston Villa actually.
Yes, he did. Liam Keatley, what do you think about Gelhardt?
Permanently, I possibly might have him, but if you see, he might be one of those signings. If we bring him in, obviously we've got him on loan now, and he might make 6 or 7 goals. He might sign him permanently, and he might only sign a couple of goals. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit 50-50.
Also, Glenn Watkin as well on that. He said that Watford was their manager as well. Was it Watford as well?
He was at Watford.
Port Vale, both Stoke rivals. Port Vale both have a strong fan base. Something about that. Says Robert as well.
Yeah, but with that training bus, like it's kind of like Sunderland being rivals with Durham. Yeah, we're on the River Wear. Yeah, we're very close, but come on, Port Vale against a ex-Premier League team in Stoke. Come on, really.
And Port Vale's in League One.
Yeah, well, to be fair, they have climbed up a bit, but like they've been in the conference for most of the 2020, like the 2000s.
Glenn Watkins says, "What's the club Leeds manager was that? Can't say Leeds having Gelhardt, but they have a lot of forwards on their books.
And they're in the Premier League. They can't afford to just keep somebody on the books to have them on the bench.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, in a minute's time, we've got Myles Cadden coming in from Sky Blues Fans TV. If he turns up on time, that is. Hopefully, fingers crossed that he does. Thinking what we can talk about now. We can talk about the Stoke game heading up to Saturday while we wait for him to come on. And we'll reverse back to Coventry. So, Stoke City on Saturday at the Stadium of Light. Obviously, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. Referee hasn't been confirmed as yet. So, he is in now. He's in the building. So,
what's Stoke?
Here we go. No,
he knows where you live.
Good evening.
Evening, Myles. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, Charles. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, me man. I'm all good.
Good. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you smashing. Thank you. Yeah, I can hear you smashing.
Good.
We're just talking about Coventry. Obviously we go 1-2 2-1, and want to get your verdict on the game. So, what was your thoughts on it?
Well, it was very entertaining, wasn't it? I mean, there was a few tackles flying in here, there, and everywhere, and yeah, it was a good game. I was very impressed with both teams, and we certainly gave the neutral who were watching on Sky a real good show, I thought, and yeah, it was pretty entertaining. I thought Sunderland looked very, very good, especially in the first half. You had a lot of possession. And we soaked up quite a lot of pressure from you guys. You hit the bar in the first half, which I thought you were quite unlucky not to get that in. But yeah, it was a good game, wasn't it?
Yeah, if you call it a football match, I was calling it a wrestling match, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few people flying in, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a.
What's your thoughts on the goalkeeper putting his hands on our player's neck? Did you not notice that? So your goalkeeper put his hands on our player's neck at one point.
I didn't see that. Was that in the second half or first half? No, I didn't. Truthfully, I didn't see it. Was that first half or second half?
Second half.
That was second
half.
Yeah, it was from a
Yeah,
corner.
I was down the other end, so I was in the singers' corner. So there's no way I could see it, and I haven't even seen highlights after the game, so I can't
Yeah.
really comment on that one, to be honest with you. So
Fair enough.
if it did happen, I missed that one completely.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had instances with the last couple of weeks with games. I don't know if you've had it as well with COV matches, but the refereeing has dominated the game rather than the gameplay itself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I could probably count on one hand that we've had a decent ref at a game this season. I think refereeing standards this season has been questionable. It is tough for them. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, some of the standard this year has been shocking. I mean, there was an incident on Saturday over where the linesman was on the far side, nearer to you guys, where he couldn't make his mind up which way to put a throw in. Ended up with two players pushing each other on the sidelines, and that was created by the lino not making a decision. We got the throw in the end. It probably, we're the other side of the ground, so it's difficult for us to see. But when an official is right on top of it and literally cannot make a decision which way to put his flag up, which causes a scuffle off the pitch, it beggars belief, to be honest with you, because that could cause a fight, cause a red card, it cause anything going on. And I think that the match officials this season has been very below par. As I say, I think I could count a good referees probably on one hand this season. We had it at Rotherham a few days before you played Rotherham. You know, we had it just doesn't they sort of one week they want to let the play go, and then the next week they want to blow for everything. And it's I think Mark Robbins and everyone else has touched on this, that it's very inconsistent. I think there was a few situations on Saturday where free kick for a similar foul that you probably did on one of our players, and we didn't get the free kick, and then vice versa. We did a foul on one of your players, you didn't get a free kick, but then you go and do a similar foul on our player, and we get the free kick. It's very inconsistent, and it's been tough, hasn't it? I mean, it's been a tough season for officials, and it's just I don't know if they're I don't know what course they're going on, but we've got Ken on our podcast. He's a referee on a Saturday sometimes and on a Sunday in the non-leagues, and he finds it very difficult with abuse and stuff. So I mean that's slightly different, but yeah, the refereeing standard is shocking. I don't know if you've had him, but we had a ref a couple of games ago. It was his first ever championship or league ref in a game, and he's come from non-league, and they've brought him straight into the championship. How on earth do you go from non-league and straight into the championship to ref on a game which is potentially a game that could get a team into the playoffs and earn £189 million at the end of the season? So it's a bit shocking, isn't it? I mean, some of those decisions on Saturday for both sets of fans, I think, were it's shocking, to be honest with you. And then that's how I see it.
Well, in the first half, did you not see the goal? The first goal from you was like 3,000 the build-up way.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it was more. I think more of the second one that was more of a foul than the first one, and the referees let it go. And you think, even we were thinking, he's let that go, and yet a couple of minutes before he would give a free kick for something less soft, really, really soft. I mean, he booked Cuffy. He booked Cuffy for a challenge that was absolutely nothing, and you're like, how do you get booked for that? It's very inconsistent, but that's where we are. And it's like we've had this conversation over and over again. Is it time that VAR came in to the Championship because there's so much money riding on it. But then again, it costs a lot of money. I think goal line technology costs. I think Dave Boddy, our chief executive, said that when we came up from League One, we wasn't expecting a bill of £75,000 for goal line technology. And so if that costs that, how much does VAR cost? And I know that I think Premier League, they don't pay for any of it because it's sponsored by whoever makes it or whatever, because it's that big. They don't have to pay for that sort of thing. But clubs like us, us in the Championship would probably have to pay for VAR like we do goal line technology. And not being funny, but goal line technology didn't work twice for us last season. So
yeah. So with that VAR conversation, I think I've been calling out for it quite a bit as well on my side. And if it's purely about financials and it's what's like you said, 75 grand per team, well, isn't the parachute payments 25 million per year that you down this league? Take off, I don't know, 2.5 million, 3 million, whatever it costs, and put it in every AFL stadium at the cost of the top flight. Because then that parachute payment, it creates that equity, but also the decisions become fair. I get it might ruin some games in the atmosphere. Like you can't celebrate a goal anymore, but the goal celebration still happens. It's just like they've got to check it. But like if you think it's a dead cert goal, celebrate it like it's a dead cert goal. There's no stopping to that. It's the ones where it's like, oh, was he offside? Oh, I don't know. That slide tackle did he handball it? Then those ones you're like, oh, are they going to give it or not? I kind of like that. It's like a tennis. Like if they're doing the in-out thing on the line, and the player challenges it, I went, that was in. The umpire said it was out. 9 times out of 10, you have to trust the umpire. But on the one time the player gets it right, it's like, oh, come on, get in, got it right. And you're celebrating for that player, knowing their stuff rather than the other way around. So, yeah. Bring VAR to everybody, I think.
Right. Anyways, moving on from the game. Do you think you'll get playoffs this season, Myles?
To be honest with you, I think the squad's too small. We're not big enough in squad. I mean, I've been saying it all season. We're finished 6th, but I say that every season anyway. So if we do make it, I could just tell everyone, "See, I told you so." But no, I think the squad depth is way too small. I think with Casey Palmer going off on Saturday with a hamstring. Hopefully that's not too bad. We haven't heard anything today. Robbins keeps it very, very close to his chest, so you don't really hear anything. We'll probably hear it tomorrow night when the team's announced up at Preston. But I think it's a very, very tall order. Yes, we'd love to be in the playoffs. Like you guys. I mean, it's fantastic what you guys are doing. First season back in the Championship, and you're knocking on the door. It took us a couple of seasons to settle into the Championship, and we were sort of knocking on the door last year, but we just fell short by a couple of games. I think it's 3 games we fell short by, and we knew exactly where we were losing those games. But I think we are a little bit weak in depth, to be honest with you. It would be absolutely amazing if we finish in the playoffs, but it's a dream. When you guys know this, you've had your turmoils over the years. When you've had an ownership that we've had for the last 12, 15 years, playing away from home 3 different times, and even this season having to play a cup tie at Burton Albion and not having a pitch to play on at the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah,
it's been a bit of a circus, to be honest with you. But Mark Robbins is working wonders, and he just wants to get to that 50 points. Massive game tomorrow night. We've never, ever, ever, and I mean we've never, ever won at Preston in the league. We've only won once in the cup game. So massive tall ask. But if we win that tomorrow, we're over the magic 50 points, and then you never know, see where we end up then, because I think we've got out of the teams above us like yourselves and Watford and West Brom and that, we've got sort of an easier run in. But then again, in this league, as you know, anyone can beat anyone in this league. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think the bottom three are on 31 points each. It's just crazy stuff. It's madness. And if we win tomorrow night, we jump up to 8th. So with 2 points off the playoffs. So you just don't know, do you? We'd all love it. We'd all love it. I don't think it'll happen. But if it does, I'm going to be partying up for all the way through the summer. That's for sure.
Right, Liam, do you think Coventry will get playoffs?
I think it'll be very close. As he just said, you've got Watford, West Brom. You've also even got Norwich up there, and Burnley and Sheffield United are going to go up. But
Yeah.
I think in the playoffs it'll be maybe. I think Norwich might just sneak into it because of the new manager. But I think, as he just said, I think Carl will just miss out by like a point, maybe 2 points.
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
I think, like Myles just said, the running in for Cov is, apart from 2 games in there, the Blackburn Rovers and the final game of the season against Middlesbrough. Every other one of those is beatable. Watford, I think you can still. Watford is like maybe that's going to be a draw, but everybody else, I think you can beat on the day. So
yeah,
there's a potential there. I'd like to finish above Cov personally from a Sunderland perspective, because I think that's a really good indicator of how well Sunderland have performed this season. But if Cov go flying up, I think they'll have earned it. The start of the season, I wasn't a big fan of how they managed that 6 games without playing a home game fiasco. But since I think it was like mid-September, they've looked like a really strong, confident team. So
agree with you.
I can see it happening, but you've got to win your games, right?
Yeah, exactly. Paul Wilson?
I think the boys will, but from our side, I know you've had Tony Mowbray and Myles, but where do you think Mowbray will get us? Where do you think Sunderland will finish under Tony Mowbray?
Oof.
I mean, if you look at your last couple of games, I think you've been quite. Probably you're a little bit unlucky not to probably get a draw on Saturday. I think if we hadn't have gone that 1-0 up and we hadn't have caught you on the break, we let you come at us and we just sort of keep coming and coming and coming and we'll catch you, and we did. But we were probably, especially when you got the goal towards the end, you still piled on a little bit of pressure. And after what happened against Swansea, we were 3-0 up and we drew 3-3. So we were sort of sat there on Saturday thinking, oh, here we go again. That late goal, are we going to concede another one? So that result maybe. You probably could have picked a point up on Saturday, but I was surprised at how Rotherham sort of beat you on the Tuesday night, and I think a lot of people probably thought you might win that. But Mowbray, he's a funny bugger, really. Mowbray, he, when he was with us, he left us and said, I don't want to be paid because of the situation we're in. But he seems to be doing a real good job for you guys. He's a solid manager. He knows what he's up to. He's been around the block. He's a bit like Neil Warnock, really. He knows the game like the back of his hand, and he's come in and he's done a solid job for you. I think a lot of fans probably thought that when he came in that you might drop off a little bit, but you've stuck in there, really. So, who's to say that your winning form can't come back and you could still end up staying in the playoffs? It's not out of reach for you, and if you do, it's a fantastic. As I said, it's a fantastic achievement for your first season back into the Championship. It took us 2 seasons really to get going. I remember the first game back in the Championship, we conceded after 45 seconds, and we all went, "Oh well, welcome to the Championship, guys." Conceding in 45 seconds, it was one of those. And then when we had you first game up there, July 31st, wasn't it? I mean, that was on Sky as well, 12:30 kickoff. That was a hell of a journey, that. But you know, who would have thought that come this time of season that you're in the playoffs and we're knocking on the door? Who would have thought that probably the two underdogs in the league are up there? You know, and
Yeah.
our budget's way low. Our budget's massively low. We're probably the fourth, maybe fifth lowest budget in the league. So you know, we are punching above our weight, but then that's down to the man management. But I think Mowbray can do his job for you. He did it at Blackburn. He did the job at Blackburn. He nearly got them into the Premier League. So what's to say he can't do it with Sunderland? You know,
Exactly.
what's to say he can't do it?
Graham Watkins says he missed out on playoffs by 7 to 10 points, which we could probably assume as a massive achievement, though. Missing Stewart, missing manager, etc. Yeah.
Can I chip in a little bit here? So
Yeah, go on then.
Sunderland and Coventry have the polar opposite of issues. Sunderland can score without a striker, and Coventry struggle to score with just Gyökeres. I think if we manage to somehow merge those two teams together, you've got a championship-winning squad here, quite comfortable. It's just that there's big gaps at Sunderland and big gaps at Coventry. What Coventry does better than Sunderland, though, is defend. They can keep clean sheets where they're supposed to keep clean sheets, and that's the big difference. If you're winning games, but you're only winning by 1 goal, that's what Coventry are managing to do for pretty much since the World Cup break, where Sunderland are having to go 3-1, 2-1, 3-2. There has to be these goal fests of games before we can get some points out of them. And I don't know, as a neutral, it's probably better to watch a Sunderland game than a Coventry game. But as a fan of those clubs, I think it's probably you've got more assurance as a Coventry fan that the game plan's going to be met.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, I think the thing with us is we've got a style of play, and we've been playing this style of football since we were in League Two. It got us out of League Two, got us out of League One. And Mark Robinson's got a philosophy within the team that what you see in Saturday, the way we pass the ball and we try to play fast-flowing football. If teams let us pass the ball, if they let us play, don't slow us down. Our style of football is beautiful to watch at parts of the game. And I mean, it's like with defence-wise, as you've just said, you know, if you put your goal scoring and our defence and midfield together, and a bit of your midfield with our midfield, you probably have got a title-winning team. Because Victor, we like playing our formation, our style of play. We play one up front. Victor is learning the game. He went to Swansea. We got him on loan from Brighton. He was at Swansea for 6 months. He came to us the first season back in the Championship. He scored a few goals, and then we signed him. And everyone was like, "We paid £1 million for this guy. We don't really know him." And the guy is learning and learning and learning all the time, and he is learning. And he will get better. He will start putting those one-on-ones away. He will start, you know, putting those chances away. But at the moment, he needs probably 6 shots to score 1 goal. But he's a player that will miss an easy chance, and then 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes later, he'll go and score a harder goal. It's crazy. It's madness. But you're probably seeing on Saturday how strong he is. He's physically strong. But for us, I think in the last few games, the key for us is that Kyle McFadden's come back. And with Kyle McFadden's back, because we've got a young defence. You know, we've got Callum Doyle from Man City, who was with you last season. He had a storm of a season for you, didn't he? And I think you guys didn't want him to go. And he looked a bit jittery because he was playing centre of the back three on his own, a young lad. He's not even driving at the moment. You know, I interviewed him a few months ago, and you know, he's not even driving. And for a young lad like that to have that responsibility in a Championship team that's only played League One football, to have Kyle McFadden come back to take that centre spot of the back three and put him to the left-hand side, which is his natural side anyway, isn't it? But he's guiding him now, so he's becoming more solid. Same as McNally. He's come from Burnley. He's not going to get in the Burnley team because Burnley is flying high. I don't think anyone's going to catch Burnley. Burnley reminds me of that season when you won the league by 100 points, didn't you? Was that right? In the Championship, you won by 100 points and got promotion, if I remember. I think you were the first team to do it. Burnley reminds me of that at the moment. Absolutely are. But, I think the key to us is that we're not conceding too many goals, which is, I think we've got the best defence in the league at the moment.
Quick score prediction before you go. Preston versus Coventry tomorrow, Myles.
I think Glenn, Glenn's going to kill me for this one. And if any of my team hear me say this, I think we'll get beat tomorrow. We've never won in Preston, and I know all that's got to come to an end at some point. But I think we'll get beat. I think we'll get beat tomorrow 2-1. I think we'll concede 2 goals tomorrow, even though we've got the best defence. I just think going up to Deepdale on a Tuesday night. I can't remember the last time we played them on a Saturday, and it's one hell of a drive. It really is. It's just awful. Up that M6, they close the motorway at night and everything. So coming home, we probably won't be home until about 1-2 o'clock in the morning. But I think we'll lose 2-1. If we win, fantastic. If we win, I'll be over the moon. I'll be ecstatic because it's our game in hand. And it's our final game in hand, and we've got 15 points from our last game, the other game in hand that we had. So if we get the win, it'll be amazing. But I think we'll get beat tomorrow. I really do. I think it's all tough ass.
Yeah. What was I going to say again before you went off? Sorry. Greg Watkins says all the best for the rest of the season to Sunderland. Really enjoyed the game on Saturday. You'll kick on in the summer. Great to see Sunderland, Cov, Luton and Millwall in the playoffs mix. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, you guys, it's fantastic. Your first season in the Championship to be up there is brilliant, and credit to you. It really is a credit to you, and fantastic job. Absolutely fantastic job.
Also, thank you for being on tonight, Myles. I really do appreciate it. Take care and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, good luck to you guys as well. You never know, we might see you at Wembley, eh?
Yeah, I hope so.
You never know.
That'd be a good one, wouldn't it?
It will. Anyways, look after yourself. Take care.
Yes, take care. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. And that was Myles from Coventry, everyone. So we're going to move on to Stoke now. Sunderland versus Stoke City at the stage of the light. Before I got interrupted because Myles came in, obviously. At the stage of the light on Saturday afternoon. We're going to go over to Paul Wilson first. We've got 6 minutes left. Paul Wilson, how do you think it's going to go on Saturday?
God, against Alex Neil as well. Oh no. It'll be interesting actually because we lost on Saturday and actually so did they.
Yeah.
Former manager coming up.
Alex Neil, the Scotch egg.
Gonna be very interesting. I think we'll beat them though.
6-0 stays occasion.
I think we'll beat Alex Neil though. We've already beat Stoke this season, so I think we'll beat
Score prediction, Paul?
Okay, she's saying 6-0 to us. Rosie's saying 5-0.
3-0 Sunderland.
3-0 Sunderland. What about you, Amf? What's your thoughts on the game on Stoke on Saturday?
I'm not worried about Stoke at all. What I am worried about is Alex Neil. I don't think Stoke have got a striker like we, and they're picking up goals all around the pitch. So I think it'll be a lot more faster paced than we're used to. So I'm going to say Stoke will score, but we'll score more than them. So 3-1.
3-1. Liam, what's your score prediction and how do you think it's going to go?
I think it's going to say go as as Ants just said, it's not Stoke because they're not very good, but it's Alex Neil. Obviously, the past experiences against previous managers haven't been very well either, and even against managers we don't like Joey Barton. But it's not it's not Stoke I'm worried about. It's Alex Neil. So as Ant said, I think they will score just because we've conceded a couple in the past games. So I think I'm going to go with a 2-1.
All right. Well, I think Sunderland's been. I know Sunderland obviously lost against Rotherham and lost against Coventry, but I think we can pick this winning run back up this weekend. So this is going to be a crazy score prediction. Acacia says 6-0. Rosie says 5-0. I'm going to drop one down from them. I'm going to say 4-0. There you go. 4-0 to Sunderland on Saturday.
Do you like stats at all, lads?
Yeah, I like the stats. Lewis Norgie puts them up.
So the most games we've lost in a row this season is 2 on 2 occasions. That was the Blackburn Burnley game and currently the Rotherham and Cov game. The longest we've gone without a win is 4 games. That was 3 draws in a row and a loss. So if form dictates, we are either picking up a point or getting all 3. We don't lose 3 in a row. It's impossible.
I'm just worried because they're both Dwight Gill.
But Dwight Gill's Dwight Gill only got his first goal off his arsehole.
Former Newcastle player though. You know what he'd be like.
Yeah, but so was Andy Carroll.
Exactly, so was Andy Carroll. What did he do? Absolutely nothing, really.
We kept him quiet.
I think the game will be settled. The last 3 games for for Stoke have all been settled. The winner's been decided by the 20-minute mark. So there's that to bear in mind. Whoever gets the first goal or whoever's leading by 20 minutes, that's generally who wins that match. So got to go out early.
Yeah.
I even think as well, whoever scores first will win the game.
Yeah. What else we want to talk about? Have all score predictions from everyone and everyone's thoughts. Anything else to talk about?
That the Premier Concourse is open next season.
Oh, that's what I was going to mention as well. Yeah, the Premier Concourse is open next season, guys. And closure in 2016. Whoever had tickets during that time can reorder now and get back in that stand if you wish.
Not that many stairs. you get all the wind, and the only thing you're sheltered from is the rain. But yeah, no.
Oh, I tell you what, I need to tell you what I do need to give a plug. I need to give a charity match a plug again. RWA Productions match is on the 27th of August, and we will be playing. What is it, Paul? We are Side. Yeah, we'll be playing the We Are Sides on the 27th of August at 1 o'clock at the Beacon of Light. Liam's joining, Paul's joining, I'm joining. So get yourself to across there. Tickets will be on sale in due course, obviously. We just need to work out the ticket price mainly, and we'll get back to you on that. But that's all I've got to say for tonight. Anything from the panel?
Not really, mate. No, I think we've covered our bases.
I think we've covered everything.
Acacia's just said don't go off here because she's home.
Yeah.
Cool.
Show me where home.
Yeah, I do have something to say actually. Like, subscribe, and follow.
Get it. Nice, Sam. I was just thinking there. And don't forget, guys, as well, to subscribe to Sky Blues TV as well. They had me on Thursday evening as well. Thank you everyone to their team for having me on. It's been appreciated. And well done for coming on tonight as well, Myles. Appreciate that as well. Anyways,
all the best to them for the rest of the season, especially Glenn as well, because he actually put the job. Anyways,
I need to plug this as well. Of Rosie Law, she says RWA Productions merchandise, exactly. Why did I not plug that? Merchandise. Hoodies are £15, small to 3XL. You've got your tops for £10, water bottles for £8, and your mugs for £5. So don't forget to check them out on the Banter group. Look, we're literally all over the Sunderland pages, really, so you can't miss them.
From 4 mugs, by 4 mugs.
Anyways, until next time, from Bradley Young myself, from Paul Wilson, say goodbye everyone, Paul.
See you later. Have a good week.
Liam Keatley, say goodbye everyone, Liam.
Bye.
And Amph as well.
See you later. Well, lads.
Take care, guys. How are the lads on Saturday against Stoke? Goodbye, everyone.